Hey everyone, what's up? Out on Netflix September 4th is a new movie called I'm Thinking of Ending Things. It's written and directed by Charlie Kaufman. If you are a fan of adaptation or An Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, maybe Anomalisa, you have loved his movies. Like I'm sure a lot of you have loved Kaufman's works. Being John Malkovich, directed by Spike Jonze, penned by Charlie Kaufman. Charlie Kaufman writes and directs I'm Thinking of Ending Things for Netflix. I'm just so happy that a Kaufman film it's been since 2015, since Anomalisa, which was released by Paramount, that it's been 5 years. So I was really excited to check out the Charlie Kaufman film I'm Thinking of Ending Things. It's based on a novel by Ian Reid. I was provided with a screening link from Netflix, so thank you to Netflix for providing me with the link. I'm sure a lot of you know Kaufman's work very well, so you're going to know there's going to be a surreal, non-linear touch to a lot of his storytelling. And if you are sort of a dumpski like me, a lot of his stuff will maybe go over your head the first time you watch it. So what's cool about Kaufman's work is once you understand the material, you can really appreciate it on a deeper level. Again, if you're not as smart and if you're like a mid-level stupid like me, if you don't really understand his work initially, repeated viewings is kind of a must with a lot of Kaufman's work. And even if you do understand a lot of his stuff, maybe the second time usually always brings a richer viewing. So that's that's one of the many things I really love about Kaufman's work. And I would apply that same feeling or attitude towards I'm Thinking of Ending Things. Okay, again, it's based on a novel by Ian Reid. I have not read that novel. I'm not a reader. I just watch movies. Okay, and the simple plot for this is it centers on a young woman played by Jessie Buckley who has just met. She's just been with this guy for maybe a month and a half. This guy's played by Jesse Plemons. She agrees to actually go on a road trip with her boyfriend to meet his parents, and they own a farm out in the middle of nowhere. But while they're driving, they have a long a long journey to get to the house. So that's the main plot. It's just her deciding to go on this date / meet cute situation with the boy's parents. Not meet cute, just to meet the parents. And she's thinking of ending things because the movie starts off with a monologue where she's thinking of ending things with her boyfriend, because even though she's only known him for a little bit, it feels like forever. And that's not when you're in the fruits of the beginning of a relationship. That's something that you don't want to feel, the doldrums of a relationship within about a month or a month and a half of knowing each other. It should be filled with passion and love. And as you will see via this long drive up to the family home, there is a lot of miscommunication, a lot of tension between the two, not in a hateful manner, but it's just a lot of miscommunication and a lot of things that people who are slowly beginning to fracture in their relationship, that's how probably they would talk to each other. And this is how these two people talk to each other. Now, it's not a big spoiler to tell you that a healthy portion of the movie, it's 134 minutes, 2 hours and 14 minutes, okay? So a chunk of the movie deals with their drive to the house, and the parents are played by Toni Collette and David Thewlis. David Thewlis previously worked with Kaufman on the stop motion feature Anomalisa. He was the lead in that one. So they play the parents. But before we get to the house, just know that, again, it is an acquired taste. If you love Charlie Kaufman's dialogue and people just going back and forth with monologues, talking about pop culture and philosophies and life, and maybe throwing out stuff that maybe you might be over your head, some of the stuff was over my head, then it'll be fine. So a lot of other viewers will check out. Okay, because again, a lot of Kaufman stuff is an acquired taste. If you are a fan of Kaufman and what his approach to cinema and storytelling, I'm Thinking of Ending Things is right up your alley. It will definitely be right up your alley. Ultimately, I'm not going to spoil what this movie's about. Okay, I'm not going to say if it's a horror thriller, psychological thriller, comedy, drama. It's a little bit of all those things. So I don't want to tip my hand to what happens in this movie, but just know that once she gets to the house and she meets the parents, there's just a lot more talking, a lot more uncomfortable, unease, miscommunication, stuff that Kaufman is good at framing. There's There's a lot of surreal interactions. There's a basement in the house that you're wondering what that's about. So that maybe leads a little bit towards the horror thriller trope. There are pop culture references bandied about and also literary references. After this movie, I definitely need to read more William Wordsworth. I hope that's the guy's. Yeah, I'm sure it's William Wordsworth, right? It's Wordsworth, right? I hope. I'm going to check after this review, and if I'm completely wrong on this, I'm going to just completely scrap this review and do another boring review for you guys. But anyways, with all these references, with all these miscommunications, the main draw for I'm Thinking of Ending Things, in my opinion, is the dialogue and the performances by all the actors, okay? It is, if you love watching Toni Collette, David Thewlis, Jessie Buckley, and Jesse Plemons really go at it and say lines and act, this has a play-like feel to it, like a play, okay? But there are some surreal touches thrown in and non-linear flourishes as well. So it has a lot of things going for it, but again, it is an acquired taste, meaning that some people you might check out in the middle of the movie and you might feel that a lot of this dialogue-driven stuff is a bit of a slog, especially if you don't like play-driven material, okay? Now, all that said, if you are patient enough or are invested enough in the story, there's something that happens halfway through the story that'll just everything turns itself on its head. And you go, what the F is going on here? And that is really a great payoff. And there's another payoff towards the final act, which went over my head. There are so many things going over my head in my old age, okay? But I had to actually, after watching this movie, which I did enjoy, I loved the movie after finishing it. But then after the final frame, I thought to myself, what the heck is going on here? What just happened? What did I just watch? I had to actually watch another YouTuber talk about what the book meant. I had to actually watch a spoiler-filled review of I'm Thinking of Ending Things. Okay, so I had to look at the movie title because I'm old and I forget names. So what else did I forget? Yeah, September 4th, Netflix. Once I really understood what this movie is about, it really hits you over the head as far as the message, the themes of how we exist in this universe, our perceptions, how pop culture or literature influences our lives. The most important thing in this world, and as evidence in a lot of Charlie Kaufman's work, is the need to actually find someone and fall in love and have a relationship. But even amidst that existence, can being in love or loving someone, can that stave off all of the tragedies and horrors and heartbreak that the world has to offer for us, the inevitable things that will happen to us in this world? So those themes are approached in I'm Thinking of Ending Things as well. So it's just a really meaty film. It takes patience if you do not like dialogue-driven material, but again, if you're a fan of Kaufman's work, I bet you're going to really at least enjoy it on a superficial level. Some of you may even think it's among his best work, like Schenectady, New York, which I've only seen once, but I think I'm pronouncing correctly, Schenectady, New York. I saw it once, I was blown away. Eventually I have to rewatch that as well. I always tell people that's my favorite Kaufman film because of its theme of loneliness, and which I just really related to that movie, but maybe that's been 10 years since, so maybe I have to actually watch it again. But as far as this movie, I'm Thinking of Ending Things. Am I saying that title right? I'm Thinking of Ending Things, yeah. Excellent performances, some really interesting twists in the movie. Charlie Kaufman is being Charlie Kaufman. If you don't like him, you're not gonna like this movie, okay? But if you are on Team Charlie Kaufman, I'm Thinking of Ending Things is definitely your film. Again, I do appreciate Netflix giving me the screening link. I don't request a lot of Netflix stuff lately because they've been action driven, and I'm not in an action frame of mind, so it's so cool that Netflix is putting out a lot of these character driven indie type material as well. So eventually I'm gonna get to reviewing some of the action stuff for you guys, but right now for the first cinematics movie review, I just shook the table. I wanted to review something that was kind of really up my alley because I remember loving Anomalisa when Anderson and I reviewed it years ago on the Cinematics podcast, and he had another thought on the matter. And yeah, so yeah, I'm a biased Charlie Kaufman fan, so take that with a grain of salt. I would love to hear what you guys think of I'm thinking of ending things when it comes out on Netflix September 4th. Put it in the comments. Again, please subscribe to our podcast, Cinematics. And every week I give 2 DVDs or Blu-rays to our Cinematics Facebook group. All you got to do is become a Facebook group member, and that's it. And then you're automatically entered into my weekly DVD and Blu-ray giveaway if you are passionate about physical media. So that's it. Those are my plugs. I'm thinking of ending things. Jesse Buckley's awesome. Jesse Plemons is awesome. Tony Collette. David Thewlis. Everyone's cool. There's also a janitor who's a character in the movie, and he plays an important role. And once you figure out it's like a Rubik's Cube. Once you figure out all the pieces, I'm sure most of you are smarter than me, and you don't have to go to YouTube and try to actually have someone explain it to you. Once all those pieces come together, you'll be looking at this movie in, I think, a different light, and appreciating it on a deeper level as well. So again, thank you guys and for your support. Comment below, tell me what you think of the movie, if you really were on board with it as much as I am. I'm giving this out of 5 stars. For 4 out of 5 stars, I'm thinking of ending things. Take care, guys. Bye.